Good?
Okay, yeah, I think we're
Great.
as
Um,
set as we're gonna be.
I'd like to,
Which
yeah,
slide
if
do
you
you
want
want?
to hide, the water is wide. We're going to go right from your welcome into my intention and frame. It's not that long, but we don't need it and I want to move right in. So the first thing will be the candles after your welcome. All nigun as we settle in, you, then me, then candles. Thank you.
Okay, so you wanna get rid of the water is wide one?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I realized that in order for me to have it as an independent camera, I would have had to be in the other room.
Right. That makes sense.
Can you pronounce Karen's last name for me?
Companez.
Campanez,
I don't think it's like a hard O. I think it's Companez.
okay. I just
Like
I didn't
company.
know if it was Campanez or Campanez.
No, I think it's Companez.
Campanez, very good. You know a Jody Sparrow or an Irv Rosenberg?
I do not. They are not. They don't belong to me.
Good. But you have a Cliff.
He's already here. It looks like. I don't know if you let him in, but I see that's my dad. I see his box.
Excellent. I let them
That's him, my mom and dad. And then two congregants put on Facebook that they were going to join. It was the Fishback and the Judy Spry.
in. You
Could
say
be a
what?
few others. I'll see them pop in if I'm able to say or you want to ask, but I
Yeah,
trust.
I'm gonna make you a co-host.
Okay, just in case. Yep.
Yeah, I can't do that from here.
And oh, I got it. David Bilotti is also mine. So
Yeah,
so far
great.
those two, Judy Spry and David Bilotti, those are mine. I
Okay,
don't
so
expect.
David Bellotti and Judy Spry just logged in. Do you want me
Yep.
to let them in now, or do you want to?
No, no, we should wait. They don't need to
Yeah. Okay.
see how the sausage is made just yet. Maybe at like 6 or 6:05 or when the other rabbis come too. I don't know if they wanted to be in before other people, but
Yeah,
I know
I
Peter
don't see
won't
any.
join until 6:15. But
I don't see the other rabbis.
yeah, neither. Karen, see, yeah,
I'm gonna, if you can try singing something, I am gonna be on. So I've got YouTube here, and I just would like to hear it.
sure. With guitar or nothing? No.
Whatever. Yeah, sure. With
Okay.
guitar's better.
Just put it down. Let me just grab it quickly. And we can hear. Courtney's here. Hi, Courtney.
Hey,
How are you? Shabbat Shalom.
good. How are you? Shabbat Shalom.
I think Rob is just checking the YouTube, his stream, and the in and out of other rooms. And
Nice. Yeah, I'm just trying to join from our sanctuary too. It occurred to me I don't think I have the meeting idea or meeting ID. I just have a link which doesn't work through this. Maybe I can get it too. But yeah, I'll ask Rob when he comes back.
okay.
Okay, Courtney, I made you a co-host.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw that.
All right. I think we'll just keep everybody in the waiting room for a little bit. Okay.
And in a moment, I'm hoping to also join from our sanctuary. I'm just trying to figure out how.
Okay.
Um,
It's the same link.
I know, I don't know how to use a link with the Zoom Rooms app.
Oh, you want the ID?
The meeting ID?
Yeah, 812.
Here, I'm writing it down. Okay, 812.
Here. Yeah, 812 0987 8966.
8966.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And it should say sanctuary in the waiting room.
Okay.
Okay. Grab.
Courtney, I don't see you in the waiting room.
Oh.
What was the number you texted?
The meeting ID.
I let her.
I didn't
let
have
her-
it.
I let Sanctuary in.
Ah, that would go on.
Are you in presenter view, Rob? Because I can see both screens.
Oops.
I mean, I see the.
Yeah.
Rob Temple Beth Ellis here. I'm gonna let them in. Hi, Karen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Nice to see you again.
You as well. Looking forward to spending Shabbat. Something will happen. Something will
So far, so good.
happen. That's right. 6:06. We're doing okay.
And Rob or Rosalie, can y'all make Sanctuary a co-host so I can turn off the audio on my computer and unmute in a bit?
Yes, I'll do it right now. I'll do it, Rob, while you're doing other things. Oh, I don't know if I can. He has to. I think I can co-host, but I can't co-host you. Look. I think Rob has to do it.
Okay, got it.
Is Clifford his tech guy? I assume. Oh, no, that's
Yeah.
you. Sorry, that's you, Rosalie. Sorry. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
your
it's my
second
fault.
screen.
My parents got let in before I even was on, and Rob, everyone else being held, but they're, because they're, Betsy's folks as well, like, they know how the sausage is made for a long time.
Rob, are you there? Can you make Sanctuary a co-host? I'm gonna rename it to my name.
You are. You should be, I just made you a co-host.
Looks lovely. Good. It's not super small by me, but again, I can tell people if they want that the line in between you can slightly adjust, but it looks good to me. You need your nails cut, dog. I heard you coming. Yeah, you're gonna have to go away. Hi, sweet boy. Hi, buddy.
Courtney, you have a beautiful arc there.
Thank you. It's very tall.
You're muted.
I see. We see two of you, Courtney. Is that intentional?
Not really. I was trying to figure out how to, I'm gonna try to change the name of Sanctuary to my name, and I'll turn the video off on the computer. So there, then you'll only be able to see one of me.
I didn't mind. Two of you is great. The more the merrier.
Rob,
Yeah.
are you setting things so people are coming in muted?
I'm not sure.
Or don't we
Yes,
care
I
about
think
that?
I think I did, yeah.
If not, we'll just remind people to mute, and even if they
Yeah,
come
I
in,
think
it won't bother
right at
me.
the beginning, as we.
My people will shout at each other.
Well, I can mute everybody at the beginning.
All of you can as co-hosts. So if I'm singing and you start hearing noise, you just scroll and you just try to mute people. Hopefully they won't unmute, but I'll remind people if it happens.
Are we going to wait for Peter, or are we going to wait for 6:15? Or
No. Whenever Rob's ready, I'm ready to let people in, and I can nigoon a little. Or
I think we can let people in if somebody wants to just do that. That's fine.
do you think we should just do a global letting in at this point because it's 43?
I've skinned the names. I know who my people are. I feel fine.
yeah, we just don't know if there's someone there that shouldn't be, but we're not going to know anyway.
Yeah.
They look pretty.
I did it. We're in. Shabbat Shalom.
Just let them all in. Hi, Edie. It's good to see you.
You as well. La, 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 la.
Shabbat Shalom. As you enter, we're going to allow more people to join us on this Shabbat. If you aren't already muted and can mute, we'll have a chance to see each other and to say Shabbat Shalom. But for now, if everyone can mute so that we can begin to settle into our Shabbat together. You're welcome, Joe. If I could ask my clergy partners here to take a look at the waiting room and invite people in, admit them. Would that I had a third hand, I would do it myself, but both my hands are busy. So if you can check the waiting room, perhaps message those who don't have names in the waiting room and just see, make sure that they are good intention to join us on this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi Morey, are we ready to begin? I'm grateful for my clergy partners and to Rabbi Morey for inviting me on this Shabbat and for creating a sacred space for us all to gather on this Shabbat. In a moment, Rabbi Morey will greet us more formally. I just want to not only introduce myself, but to sort of set our Shabbat intention for this evening. I'm Cantor Rosalie Will, as I said, grateful to be with you. A few things. Because we are this wonderful grouping of different congregations and communities, each of our customs, our minhagim, the ways that we pray together might be different from each other's. And what a gift during this time to be able to see how each other prays, to see how I perhaps make sacred choices in my liturgy different than your clergy or places that you're familiar. Our liturgy is not the end in and of itself, it's a means to an end. Our prayers are means to finding expression, finding the best ways we want to be in the world. And so even as some of them might be expressed a little differently, it's just a pathway. Perhaps tonight's pathway might feel a little different, uncomfortable at times, but also hopefully heart-opening. Some of our communities are very comfortable putting chat in the chat box as a way to communicate. Others prefer just to sit from where they are. You should do what feels comfortable for you in your worship. And we, each of us, express our attention and respect in ways that are right for us. We need not always stand physically to stand for something, to stand up for our values, to stand for community. So if it is your custom to rise at certain places, and if for you physically that's a call, wonderful. And if not, we know you are standing in the ways that matter to you. And so if I say please rise in the service, you should feel free to do what feels comfortable and right for you. Our goal is that this is a safe doorbell. Sorry about that. That this is a safe place and there'll be noise and distractions and we will unmute at times accidentally, and it is all in the spirit of Shabbat that we are together. So I'm delighted to be here as we go through our Shabbat Shira, our Shabbat of song, of dogs, of children, of noise, and of singing together. So Rabbi Morey, to you, please.
Shabbat Shalom. It is wonderful, wonderful to have 127 of us from all over the country joining us for Shabbat. What a wonderful experience. And I think although this pandemic is so hard and so terrible for so many, at least we have these shining moments where we come together and we take advantage of this amazing opportunity to worship and pray together as one Kihila Kadosha, this one sacred community that we create not in a physical space, but in a spiritual space. I want to thank my clergy partners, Peter Shackman from Temple Emmanuel in Utica, New York, Rabbi Karen Campenez of Temple Beth El of South Bend, Indiana, Rabbi Courtney Berman and Temple Beth El of Ormond Beach, Florida, and of course, Cantor Will, who is our service leader this evening and will guide us through this amazing experience of celebrating Shabbat Shira all together. So with that, we'll begin
with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. If you have candles near you, or you can see mine, and that's part of your Shabbat custom. If you've already lit them, that's also fine to be able to see them. And we join together in the bracha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר, להדליק נר של Shabbat. And you can enjoy that light and that warmth as we continue our tefillah. A story in light of where we are in the telling of our sacred journey, our sacred Shabbat story of the Song of the Sea. There were two individuals as our community was getting ready to pass from Egypt, finally freed after all of this time. And thousands were walking through, beginning the journey through the dry parts between the water on either side. And two of these slaves that they were, having been recently freed, Leah and David, are walking together. And they both have their heads down. And as they're walking along, Leah turns to David and says, "What is this under our feet?" And David says, "I don't know, I think it's just mud." And Leah says, "I thought we were supposed to be going somewhere great after all of this slavery. What is this?" And David said, "I don't know, it's muck and mud, and there was muck here, and I think there's muck back in Egypt. This is gross." And as they walk through that wet, goopy mud, they miss the miracle of the water parted right next to them on either side, walls of water. And as they continue through onto dry land on the other side and begin their journey through the desert, Leah and David with their heads down to the ground, David turns to Leah and says, "What is this? It's a lot of rocks here." And Leah says, "I know, it's very uncomfortable. It's just rocks and dirt. And I thought we were going somewhere better. I don't understand. There are rocks and dirt here. There were rocks and dirt back in Egypt. What's the big deal?" And they missed the miracle of the journey they were taking to this promise, to the land, to the future. And they come to the base of the mountain and they're standing around. Moses goes up and they're waiting to hear. And the people are silent and they hear God's voice, the commandments, the creation of a people. And Leah turns to David and says, "What's all that shouting?" David says, "I don't know, it's shouting, but we hear shouting here and we heard shouting back in Egypt. What's the difference? It's all just shouting." And they missed the miracle. They missed hearing God's voice, each one for themselves in their own way. And they continued walking on all the way until so much complaining about the dirt and the muck, the same here as back there. They missed so many miracles. And some say they turned around and just went back to Egypt. Didn't seem any different to them. And others say they're still just wandering in the desert with their face looking down, never looking up to see all the miracles around them. And some say they're actually wandering among us, always with their faces down, not recognizing the miracles, only the pebbles at their feet, which yes exist, and the mud we step in, of course, and the commands and the busyness, yes, but they never lift up. Our job on Shabbat, on every day, is to keep our eyes up to the miracles that are around us at all times. L'chadodi likrat kala, we welcome the Shabbat bride, this opportunity to perhaps, after a long week of looking down into that muck, of just lifting our eyes so we can see. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Basically does the same thing round and round. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, yishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemor echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litchila lechadodi, lipat kala, eni Shabbat nekavela, lechadodi, lipat kala. Shabbat, lechu v'necha, yihi v'kor habracha, v'rosh mikadem nesrucha, sofa hase b'machshava tchila lechadodi. Yes, likrat kala, eni Shabbat, nekabela, lechadodi, likrat kala, eni Shabbat, comfortable to rise and face the door, perhaps to the room that you're in, or the door that welcomes guests, perhaps not so many guests these days, but we welcome the spirit of reaching out to each other, of finding ways to connect through the miles and through the time. So we face that door with that remembrance and that holding of welcoming people in. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, ram b'simcha v'tzohona, tvachem le'am siruna, boi chala, boi chala, lechem dodi, le'vat kala, v'nei Shabbat, nekavela, lechem dodi, le'vat kala, v'nei Shabbat, nekavela. If you're already rising or feel comfortable to do so for Baruch Hu, that we are prepared to continue with our worship together. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach If you are comfortable to doing so, we may be seated. I currently live outside DC, and we're predicting, as maybe some of you as well, a snowstorm to come in the next little bit. And this time of year, it is already dark outside, even so early. Our Ma'ariv Aravim, this moment where we think about the beauty of our world, is unpredictable as it is. We can never know whether it will be warm or cold or snowy, dark, or even light, depending on the time of year. But we're reminded that the natural world has a world, a universe of its own, and it continues to operate with or without us. And our job, like Leah and David, is just to look up and see. So you'll know what to do when we get to the Chatima, this last blessing together. Until then, just see how this Ma'ariv Aravim feels for you. Ksha'ani ro'eh b'chaloni et shemarik lecha v'gam li ani shar la'atzmi eize achla olam hashamayim chulim anahu lavan v'haboker ba'ir u'balayla ishan ve'echlom le'atzmi eize achla olam v'chol tzivei hakeshet yafim v'chadashim prusim acharei hageshem al pnei ha'anashim v'hayom from where you are, we join in this reading together for Ahavat Olam. Unending is your love for your people, the house of Israel. Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts have you taught us. Therefore, O God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and rejoice in your Torah and mitzvot forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life and the length of our days. Then your love shall never depart from our hearts. We praise you, Eternal One, who loves your people Israel. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele. Can we go back a slide? Thank you. Asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha. I just want everyone to be able to see. Thank you. V'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Amen. We've arrived at the place of our service, Mi Chamocha, and it is not only our moment of freedom. In the song that you will hear soon, chanted from our Torah in honor of Shabbat Shira, Shirat Hayam, the song at the sea, from Bishalach. But we also express this moment of freedom in every service, this narrative that we tell. But Mi Chamocha has also become a place to hint at what's to come. That's part of our tradition. On Hanukkah, of course, you may know that we sing Ma'uz Tzur melody, Mi Chamocha, or on Pesach, Adirhu, Mi Chamocha. It's a place that we often use as just a signal of what's to come. It's become the musical motif of those moments. It's also a lovely place to share lots of the diverse melodies that we have for many of our pieces of liturgy. As I mentioned at the beginning of our tefillah together, the liturgy is a means to an end. It's a means to feel diverse experiences. The prayers don't change, but we change every year, every week, every day even. And we are all different from each other. So of course our melodies have to express our very complex experiences every time we share them. So here is an opportunity with my clergy partners to lead us as well in some thinking with a variety of different melodies to hear the narrative of our freedom story in new ways. So I invite Rabbi Morey to set us up for our first sharing of Mi Chamocha.
Imagine yourself in a glorious place in nature, or overlooking a vista or a scene that was deeply moving to you. It could be exquisite natural beauty or connecting with something grand, dramatic, or profound. Imagine your breath catching, or the deep inhalation and exhalation you take upon seeing this moment. Perhaps the reflection of this view moves you to share a blessing of gratitude for such a miracle. You feel awe that such a thing is possible in our world. How could this be? Our world spins in our own selves, our families, our community, our public world, but this moment is outside of that. Perhaps you stand with mild shivers, with confusion as you strive to understand the beauty and at the same time find yourself bearing witness to this deeply moving moment. We have to imagine that some of the mixed multitude who crossed the parted sea must have drifted off alone to the side of the crowd and turned to just watch. The waters holding steady, the community slowly coming up out of the muck onto dry land, freedom. Who is like you? They must have silently whispered. How is this possible? I can't wrap my head around what my heart sees. Silent tears. The awe is overwhelming. Who is like you? Who?
Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef elem. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef elem. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? I'd like to invite Rabbi Shachtman to introduce our next Micha Mocha setting.
Last night, I wandered down the streets of the world where injustice before me had trod. And as I walked and saw what was done, I challenged God. I saw a child, his belly sticking out, starved, staring out, too weak to even cry. And as I walked and saw what was done, I asked, why, God, why? I saw a man, his legs still in Vietnam, wondering if he should even try. And as I walked and saw what was done, asked, why, God, why? I saw a millionaire becoming wealthy by milking the poor people so dry. And as I walked and saw what was done, asked, why, God, why? I saw a purse, Social Security check inside, stolen by addicts to keep them high. And as I walked and saw what was done, asked, why, God, why? I turned away from the injustice and sobbed. On my knees, I asked, God, how can you stand idly by? And behind my head, softly, and so sadly, I heard God reply, why people? Why? Why people? Why?
Redemption, 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 redemption. This Michamocha only uses one particular line of the text most of the way through to remind us that we are with God, that outstretched arm that we need and that God needs from us as well. Wandering in the desert, so easy to feel alone. We all need to know redemption from a hand stronger than our own. From a hand stronger than our own. From a hand stronger than our own. Redemption, 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 redemption. נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Rabbi Kompanez, please.
Keep on keeping on. Don't give up. Don't give in. Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh multiple times, and we were continually denied our freedom. And so much got worse before freedom finally came. This is a story not unique to us. Everyone's story of the fight for freedom is unique, but we share common struggles to be seen, to be given agency, to share our stories, to build our own futures. The narrative of a people saying enough is enough, that we will continue to push against oppression even if the boulder doesn't move, that even if our situation grows worse, even if it takes us generations, is timeless. In every age, communities rising up against dictators, neighborhoods demanding reform, advocates fighting against incarceration, individuals standing up to the bondage of addiction. We don't give up. We don't give in. We keep our eyes on the prize. And when it's hard, we hold on to each other, to our sense of our value and our worth, and to the sense of a shared humanity.
The only thing that we've done wrong is wait in the wilderness too long. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Nora tehilot osefele. Nora tehilot osefele. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Rabbi Berman, please.
Finally, we arrive at that moment where our joy of reunion and opportunity and freedom bubble over and we simply laugh, sing, and dance. We bring all of those who experience this moment of freedom so differently, who are overtaken with awe and trembling, who are trying to make sense of their role in the deliverance, who are leading the fight in the cause for justice, and link hands together. Because the dance is what gives us the nourishment to walk into the next moment of learning and building together. Our singing of this song of rejoicing reminds us that though the work is hard and rich and deep, it fills us with renewed belief that our values of community, of freedom, of justice best mirror our ongoing relationship to divinity in the world.
We're going to share slides now so we can all join in singing Micha Mocha together. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele. Nora tehilot osefele. Malchut Torah uvanecha, Lokei hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam. Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'amru. Adonai lo le'olam ba'ed. Adonai lo le'olam ba'ed. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. ונאמר כבראשית יעקב, ואלוהים יהיה חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. The beauty of all of these expressions of yearning of Micha Mocha, as we prepare, we can leave this slide to turn our hearts towards our Amidah, is that all of these senses of freedom are true. And each of us comes to our prayer for our Amidah with our own stories, with our own sense of how we want to live out our values of justice in the world, of what moves us to either stand in awe or to feel a sense of the shared responsibility with God, or a sense that the fight still continues for freedom, or perhaps just the joy of the dance. There are victories large and small, and we turn to our Amidah now with the sense of what we are looking for in our relationships with our ancestors, with the divinity in the world, and with ourselves. So if you are comfortable, please rise for the Amidah. The slides are here for you. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon. Can we advance the slide? Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah ra v'hoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim b'chesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofech holim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melech, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh, v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh. A wise man was standing by the river when a younger man came up to him and said, I understand you are very wise, and I've wanted to learn all of the things, all of the mysteries of the universe, but really what I want to learn most is about peace, how to make peace all over the world. And the wise man said, let me sit and think about that for a moment, and the young man sat down next to him. And then the wise man turned towards the young man and grabbed him by the back of his neck and pushed his head down into the river and held it there. And the man fighting and fighting, finally the wise man let the young man up, and the young man said, what were you doing? When you had my face in the water, I couldn't breathe. And the wise man said, what was it that you wanted more than anything? And the man said, of course, a breath. And the wise man said, perhaps when everyone in the world wants peace as badly as you wanted breath, then they will indeed begin to get to work. So as we sing our Oseh Shalom, we are the peacemakers. Think, what is it that the peace that you want to see in the world is so important that you would want to work for it the same way you would want to work for each breath? Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh Shalom Imrama, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, Amen. We move now to have a Torah reading. And some of our communities, we might read Torah on Friday night. Others We might not only on Shabbat morning, but because it is Parshat Beshalach and Shabbat Shira and Shirat Hayam, we thought it would be a wonderful opportunity, particularly because many of us won't be able to see our Torah scroll in person, but to be able to have it here, courtesy of Anshe Chesed, and hear a little bit of our Torah chanted. So in a moment, I'll ask you all to join in the blessings together. I'm not sure, Rabbi Morey is just doing such a beautiful job, not only holding space for all of us, but with the screens for the texts for us, and then the Torah in another room. So we may not have the Torah blessings on screen, but that's okay. If you know them, please join. And if you don't, we know you're standing in honor of Torah for yourself. I will find my Tikkun page. I do not have a Torah here in Washington, DC. Just a little bit of preparation as you can look at the screen and see this beautiful song. It's actually laid out as a poem, and there's a few places in our text. But one of the reasons we wanted to have it chanted is that there's a special chant. Much of the portion will sound like Ve'ahavta, our Ashkenazi Torah trope sound, but there are a couple of places where there are musical detours. And these are festive cadences that appear here in Shirat Hayam and a few other places, mostly in Numbers. As the children of Israel are traveling through the desert, there are certain places where when it talks about their journey, we get a little musical cadence that sounds really different from the rest of the Torah. And then we go back to the slog through the desert. And then when there's an exciting part of the journey, we get a musical cadence. It's a really beautiful way to help us remember, even as the chant moves through, that some of these moments are remarkable. So if you could to join in the blessing as a group. So good, Rabbi Murray. Thank you. To hear the Torah blessing after the Amidah. We'll get there. We'll find it. Here we are. We're close. Beautiful. So if you're comfortable to do so and you'd like to join in the blessing, if you all would actually unmute, if you're comfortable, we're just going to do it together. You'll hear yourself and you'll hear us all. If you'd like to unmute so we can hear us standing, the cacophony that we were at Sinai as well for the blessing, here we go.
Just yourself.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to do it together. Baruch
Hu et Adonai Hamon Ra. Baruch Adonai Hamon
Amen. Beautiful. If you could mute again. I'm going to be starting a little bit before the song right there at the top of the page, where the children are witnessing God's arm lifting out to redeem the children of Israel. The Egyptians are there on the shore, and they've crossed to the other side, and they're looking back with all this mixed emotion. Amen. Vayosha Adonai Bayom Hahu et Yisrael miyad Mitzrayim Vayar Yisrael et Mitzrayim met al Sfat Hayam Vayar Yisrael et Hayad Hagdola Asher Asa Adonai b'Mitzrayim Vayiru Ha'am et Adonai Vayiminu b'Adonai uv Moshe avdo. That was the first one. Az yashir Moshe uvnei Yisrael et hashira hazot l'Adonai vayamru le'mor. Ashira l'Adonai ki ga'o ga'a sus v'rochvo rama vayam. O ziv zimratia vayhili lishua ze'ili v'anvehu Elohei avi v'arom menhu Adonai ish milchama Adonai shmo Markavot paro v'chelo yara vayam Umivchar shalishav tubu v'yam suf Tehamot Yechas Yumu ירדו במצולות כמו אבן. ימינך אדוני נדרי בכוח, ימינך אדוני תרעת אויב. וברוב גאונך תהרוז קמך, תשלח חרונך יאכלמו ככעס. וברוח אפיך נערמו מים, ניצבו כמו נוזלים. קבעו תהומות בלב ים. אמר אויב ארדוף אשיג אחלק שלל, תמלאמו נפשי, ארי חרבי תורישמו ידי. נשבת ברוחך כי שמו ים, צללו בעופרת במים אדירים. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלף. Thank you, Rabbi Moreh. And if we all could just take another look at that beautiful Shira, that beautiful song at the sea, and we will join in our blessing after the Torah together. You can unmute if you'd like, so we can hear that beautiful sound again together. Baruch atah
Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher natan Torah
emet
v'hayolam
v'hayolam
Baruch
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Amen.
And as we have our Torah, we see it, and we think of all of those who are in need of our comfort. The Gera Rabbi tells a story of his disciples who would come and he'd ask them, how is Moshe doing? How is Shmuel doing? And they'd say, we don't know. And he'd say, you mean we study together and we share a community together? And you don't know? You don't know if they're in need of something, if they're joyful, if they're sad? Part of being in a community is to know about one another and to be in relationship with one another and to hear each other's stories. So our prayer for healing, we lift up all of those who are sick, who might need our support, or our phone calls after Shabbat, all the caregivers who are doing so much for so many. And also to remind us to just reach out to one another. That is our ailment in so many ways, is just loneliness. So this blessing is for all of us and for all of those with whom we can be connected on this Shabbat. If you'd like to, if it's your custom to put names in the chat of people you're thinking about, please do so and just hold them in your hearts as we sing Mishaberach together, this blessing of healing. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema. for sharing names in the chat, just looking through them, and all of those who are in our hearts as well. Aleinu l'shabeach, we are reminded through our story of Micha Mocha to call ourselves, to lift ourselves up to the opportunities. I want to see what our next slide is. Make sure we are. Yes. To stand up and rise, and we chant Aleinu as this moment at the end of our service, but particularly on this Shabbat Shira, where we are invited to continue to not only tell our narrative of freedom, but to lift up those who have not yet felt that release from bondage, that redemption with that outstretched arm. So a slightly different Aleinu, but we'll end with our Vanachnu to remind ourselves that it's up to us to lift ourselves and to lift others as well. So if you're comfortable to, please rise for Aleinu. It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu l'shabeach, it's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action, it brings meaning to our days. Aleinu l'shabeach, it's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision, we are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply, there's a broken world to raise. Aleinu l'shabeach, it's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach, it's time to live our praise. Va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You will see on the screen the names of all of those observing Shloshim and Yartzeit from our 4 communities. And what a beautiful gift to be able to read the names of not just our beloveds in our congregation and who are on our hearts, but all of those of our chevre, of our friends, of our community who also are mourning the loss of loved ones. So we take a moment to watch these names. And if there are those whom you're remembering and you'd like to share their names in the chat, you may. If not, just hold them and all of the names of all of those on our hearts. And we join in Kaddish Yatom Mourners Kaddish together. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Ba'alma Divra Chirutei v'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon v'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam ula'almei almaya Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudsha, barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved, to all of those whose memories are always a blessing, and we say together, amen. So wonderful to share Shabbat together, these moments of celebration, of rejoicing and dancing, of freedom, moments of memory and reflection, and to be together, all of these congregations together is a real gift, I know for me, and I'm sure for our colleagues as well, to feel the strength of our friends, of our movement around. And we sing again this song of peace, so we can remember that all of us together can do so much in this broken world. So Oseh Shalom Bimromav, we sing together. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen.
On behalf of my colleagues, I want to thank you, Cantor Will, for leading us in such an amazing, amazing service. And thank you all for joining us, whether you're in Indiana, New York, or Florida, or here in Pennsylvania. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom. Stay well, stay safe. We'll hopefully see you soon.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
So following our service,
Shalom. Wonderful service. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Beautiful service.
Awesome.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom.
Beautiful service.
Thank you, Cantor. Thank you, rabbis.
I think
Shabbat
Rabbi
Shalom.
might
Thank you all.
All
Wonderful
rabbis.
service.
You have instructions for us?
so we thought that if
Shabbat
people
Shalom.
are here, what we would do is we would invite you to join us in a conversation based on your congregation. So we'll open a series of breakout rooms, and you can choose the breakout room that you wish to go to. Go to the one that you feel closest connected to, sort of your rabbi maybe. And we'll hopefully engage in a little bit of a Shabbat oneg-ish kind of conversation and an opportunity to connect with each other there.
See it?
Again, Shabbat Shalom, Yesher Koach to all of our participants.
Cantor has something to say.
I was going to say the breakout room, there's a symbol at the bottom of your screen if you're not as familiar with breakout.
Oh, yeah.
If there are 4 boxes that say breakout rooms, if you click on them, it'll give you a choice. And hopefully you find your congregation. We have a few people from not those congregations, but you can have your own egg in your home with your people. But that's how to get to those rooms.
How do you get in?
You just click join, the one that you'd
Oh.
like to join, and it'll send you right there. And thank you again to Rabbi
I
Kofi
don't
and Rabbi Shechtman for worshiping with us and your wonderful communities. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your rooms.
Thank you, Cantor Will.
I don't see any rooms.
I know.
I don't see any room either.
Okay, down
Okay,
at
if
the
you
bottom
go
of the
to-
screen.
If you go
down
to the very bottom of the screen, you'll
Yes.
see 4 little boxes.
No, no.
Oh,
I'm gonna assign some of you, Mariana. I'm gonna
Very
assign
good.
you to our room. I think I heard. Yeah, give me a moment. I'm gonna assign you from my laptop. Okay,
Okay.
Marty and Anita. I see y'all. I'm gonna assign you.
And I don't see any boxes on mine.
mm-mm.
Let's see.
Nor do I.
Yeah. Me neither.
Assign to-
Maybe it's the version you have.
assign
So let's what
Shabbat shalom, everyone. I'm glad I had a chance to say that.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Who does not have the boxes? Karen, what congregation are you with?
Temple Emmanuel in Utica.
Okay, one second. Karen. I'm gonna find you.
I am joined.
Great.
Right. Sheila Coon.
All right, Linda, hold on. Linda, where are you?
Temple Bethel, South Bend.
I'm still with you.
Yes, okay. I'm gonna see if I can assign you.
I see my name.
The breakout rooms is a different thing. I'm trying. I'm not sure how to get you there. I'm working on it. One second. I don't think I can assign breakout rooms, Rabbi Murray. I can't send people there.
Linda, which room are you want to go to?
Temple Bethel, South Bend, if you can. If not, then I'll just say good evening, Shabbat Shalom.
I can probably get you there.
We can get you there.
Oh, it's
Andrea,
okay.
where
I
do you wanna go?
got.
And I'm trying to get to Temple
Uh-huh.
Emmanuel.
Karen is trying to get to Temple Emmanuel. Karen with the C.
Cantor, what does Sheila Coon not joined?
Thank you.
Not joined.
It means you got invited to maybe a breakout room and you have to accept it.
You have to what?
You have
Press accept.
Well, how do I do it?
what congregation are you with, Sheila?
Temple Israel. Temple Israel. Joining with Bethel in Ormond Beach.
Okay. Rabbi Murray will send you there.
Andrea. Sorry, say that again.
Bethel.
Bethel.
Which one?
Bethel, South
In
Bend
South
or-
Bend.
Oh, okay.
Andrea? Okay, Andrea, are you South Bend or Florida?
South Bend.
Ellen, 1 second.
Okay, as long as you know it's me, I'm waiting.
Yep, thank you. Good.
Okay, Ellen, where do you want to go?
Emmanuel, Utica.
Good. Arnie, where do you want to go?
I think Arnie might be, I don't know.
Arnie is not in any of those.
Arnie's with me from a blast from my past. He's
Right.
Okay.
Hi, Arnie.
You guys can stay in the main room.
Thank you.
And we've got a few. Jeff Berman, where do you want to go? Or Pam?
Did we ever take care of Sheila Cohen?
Yes, Sheila Cohen, and it says not joined.
Okay, where would you like to go again? And we'll get you there.
Rabbi Berman.
So you just have to click that join.
Beautiful lady.
I think he keeps sending it around, and you have
Temple
to
Israel and joining with Bethel. And it says not joined.
You have to click join.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Nothing's happening.
And there we go.
Temple Bethel, Florida is beneath it. Okay. Oh, and Rabbi Courtney Berman is beside or above it. Oh, South Bend, Indiana, home of Notre Dame.
If you're looking at the breakout rooms, I think it's covering up. He's inviting you. Close that. Don't look at where people are not joined.
Oh, okay.
I think Rabbi Moray is inviting you, and a box will pop up, and you have to click join. You're just not seeing it because you're looking at the list of breakout rooms.
Okay. All right. Should I go down further?
No, close the window. Close that box that has the breakout rooms. And I think Rabbi Moray invites you, and you have to accept the invitation and hit a blue box that says join.
Hi, Barbara.
All right, let's see who else needs to go somewhere.
Thank you, Cantor. It was beautiful. And Sheila, you can go. Are you going to Temple Bethel, or are you going somewhere else?
All right, I'm going with you.
I'm leaving, but Temple Bethel is there. You just have to join them, okay?
Okay. All right.
I'll tell the rabbi you're trying.
Rabbi Moray, I'm not sure if these folks need places or they're just hiding their videos because they've walked away.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Bye, Lynn. Good to see you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
No.
Okay, so I've got 3 people who are unassigned. I have Arnie and Pam.
Don't worry about Arnie. He and I are kibitzing for a second.
And I don't know where Pam is, but there's, okay. All right, I'm gonna go join my group.
Great, Jeffrey came back. Jeffrey, is there somewhere you needed to go? Jeff Berman.
Hello.
Hi, we were sending everyone to their breakout rooms by congregation. Is there somewhere you'd like to be?
I was just there, and we've disbanded, and sign off Zoom. But thank you for a lovely service.
Shabbat shalom. Just wanted to make sure
Shabbat
everyone
shalom.
knew where they needed to go.
Wonderful, wonderful service.
Thank you. My pleasure. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, Rabbi Moray, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon. Bye. Everyone in your breakout room. Hi, Arnie.
Thank you, Rosalie.
Are you there with Ellen?
Yeah, she's right here.
Hi, just tell her I said hi. I don't need to.
Wait.
I'll wait for the daughter.
Hi, so good to see you.
Oh, you too.
Love the warmth and feeling you put into your service. Just wonderful.
Thank you. It's good to see you guys. Kids good? Everybody good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There were several other members along.
I saw Judy and I saw
Lisa.
Yeah, I saw Lisa.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We're following. We're Rosalie junkies.
I love the kumsitz on this week.
Yeah,
Thank
we
That
loved
was
it.
wonderful. Very meaningful.
I'm glad. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ellen liked the poem, so
I'll send it.
reading.
I'll send it. Yeah, I have
Thank
it.
you so much.
All right, I'm going to sign off and have some dinner with the family. But Shabbat
Thanks.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Be
shalom.
well.
Bye, you too. Bye.
Bye now.
Prince Edward Island, they can only get there by a bridge. They don't have any islands, so there's something to be said.
Alberta's talking about it now too, because their numbers are way up.
I gotta go. Dinner just arrived. I gotta go. Dinner just arrived.
Well, good to see you, Michael. Take care.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I said I gotta go. Dinner just arrived. It was in the 80s yesterday. Wonderful. Enjoy.
Here too.
Hello, everybody.
All right.
The COVID problem is ongoing. We're not getting the number of tests, and then Pfizer's mixing around with the numbers, and then you get five, instead of 5 shots in a vial, you get 6 shots, which have got a special syringe. I mean, I don't think anybody knows what they're doing, honest to God. And now Moderna, also they're cutting back. I don't think we're going to get the shots at all. I don't know. Why is
haven't had it yet, Liliana?
I'm sorry?
You have not had this shot yet?
Nobody has had it. The only people who have had it are, like, if you're a nurse, my niece is a nurse in a COVID unit, and anyone in a long-term retirement home. They haven't even gotten to the regular homes that don't have issues. I think they're just doing the ones that have issues. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic.
It's the same thing as here.
Well, it was just by fluke that I found out about Lecom today.
That's just to say, of the people who live here, it seems like everyone on this call who's over 65 has had it. No, you had it. You didn't have it, Barb? We did. Yeah, and Edie did.
No, we're scheduled for.
Oh, you're scheduled. Okay.
February 11th.
Okay.
We don't know anybody who had it. Except for you, John.
Brad has had it, I think so.
I'm 8 days from immunity, guys. 8 days till I'm immune. Do you people just say you don't know anyone who has got it?
Right, except for Brad, because he's a doctor.
Well, you know, I knew a couple people who had it at a distance, and I was very fortunate that I wasn't in their company at the time.
We're talking the vaccine, we're not talking the illness.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
Kendra?
I'm easy to confuse, I apologize.
No.
Kathy and Phil were able to get theirs in Miami. Their home is in Bonita Springs in